What if I told you your brain lies to you every single day? Every second, your brain receives about 11 million bits of information, but you only consciously process around 50 bits. Think about that. Millions of pieces of information, and your mind chooses just a tiny fraction to actually notice. Sometimes you think you saw someone waving at you, but they didn't. Or maybe you remember a conversation exactly the way you think it happened, but later you realize some details were completely wrong. This is because your brain filters, edits, and interprets reality to make it easier to understand, but also easier to be fooled. Optical illusions are a perfect example. Your brain fills in missing details to make the world appear normal. For instance, straight lines may look bent, or identical objects may appear completely different depending on their surroundings. Have you ever seen the famous Miller-Lyer illusion? Two lines, same length, but one looks longer. Your brain insists on seeing it that way, even though reality says otherwise. Even subtle patterns like shadows or reflections can trick your brain, making it perceive movement, depth, or color that isn't really there. And it's not just vision. Memories are notoriously unreliable. Each time you recall a memory, your brain slightly rewrites it, adding or removing details. Sometimes you vividly remember events that never actually happened. For example, you might remember your first day of school with perfect clarity, but studies show some of those details were probably imagined. Psychologists call this phenomenon false memory. Elizabeth Loftus, a famous memory researcher, proved that people can be convinced of events that never occurred. This is why eyewitness testimonies, even in court, can sometimes be completely wrong. Your brain believes its own lies without questioning them. It doesn't stop there. Sometimes your brain lies to protect you emotionally. It hides pain or invents excuses to make you feel better. Have you ever convinced yourself that a friend's comment didn't hurt you, even though deep down it did? Or forgotten criticism and only remembered compliments? This is called self-deception, and it's a natural survival mechanism. Your brain prioritizes your emotional safety sometimes over the truth, and it keeps going. Our perception of time can also be distorted. Think about moments when time seemed to fly or drag endlessly. That's your brain interpreting reality to protect you or enhance experiences. Even the way we make decisions can be influenced by these lies. We think we're rational, but our brain constantly edits reality, making choices based on shortcuts, biases, and emotions. Confirmation bias, for example, makes you notice evidence that supports what you already believe while ignoring everything else. Now imagine combining all of this: illusions, false memories, emotional self-deception, distorted perception of time, cognitive biases, and millions of bits of information filtered every second. It becomes clear that our personal reality is not always accurate. So if your brain lies about what you see, remember, and feel, how much of your reality is actually real? From illusions to memories to emotions, the brain constantly edits our perception. Every day, in every decision, in every moment, you experience reality through a filter that is not completely truthful. Maybe the biggest illusion is life itself. Your brain, the very organ you rely on to understand reality, is imperfect, deceptive, and yet indispensable. So the next time you see, remember, or feel something, ask yourself, could my brain be lying to me right now?